What is Family Promise and why was it founded?
So Family Promise is a nonprofit shelter. We house homeless families, and we use faith-based resources to house them during supper and overnight, and then we bring them back here to the day center for case management. It was started over 30 years ago in New Jersey when a lady was encountering some homeless folks in the street, and she realized her church was empty during the week. So she started this program, and there's 220 affiliates nationwide now.
What are some of the services that you offer?
Well, depending on the barriers that they have to self-sufficiency or employment, we assist them with getting driver's license, enroll them in classes for addiction. There's all kinds of different things we do based on what their needs are. Each family that comes in is individual and each case is different, but we have a connection to all the resources in town, and our case manager, Mr. Baines, he looks at their case, tailors the needs to it, and refers them to proper resources to get the assistance they need.
What are a few examples of your success stories?
Well, one that comes in mind in particular is we had a lady with 4 children. She was a single mom with 4 children. She came into the shelter. She did eventually gain employment, and then she gained housing, and then she ended up serving on our board for about 2 years. One of the Family Promise model, one of the things that we do is one of our board seats is required to be filled by a former client, so that they have a voice in what it was like when they lived here and a voice in the changes that we may make through our board. And another success story was we have currently a lady who's serving on our board, and she came into the shelter. She had a lot of issues emotionally from the loss of a couple of her children, loss of life of her children, and we were able to help her through that, through the resources in the city of Lima, the community that we have, and then she eventually is now serving on our board also.
If someone wants to help out, what can they do?
Well, it's a gamut of things. We do take donations here at the center, furniture, clothing. If it's an item that we can't handle, we have, once again, resources with Restore, Neighborhood Relief, where they issue us vouchers for our families. So if the donation is through Family Promise to those agencies, then we issue vouchers to our families, and they can go there and pick out items for free, either clothing or, when they obtain housing, furniture. All of our churches are in need of volunteers to serve, so you don't have to be a member of a church to be a volunteer at that church. Each church does have a support church that backs them up on volunteers too. So if you really feel the need that you want to volunteer for Family Promise, you can just contact our office at 419-879-4600, and we can start referring you based on what your gifts are, because that's kind of what our volunteerism is about, spiritual gifts, and then we line you up with some type of work that goes with those spiritual gifts.
What do you find the most rewarding about what you do?
Well, I came to become an executive director here by means that weren't traditional. I lost my leg about 10 years ago, and through that process I became an opiate addict from the pain medication. And I found spiritual healing one night when I was going to break into a drugstore. I found a spiritual element that set me free and changed my direction that night. And so I like to bring what I consider those gifts into this agency, because a lot of the folks we deal with are struggling with addiction. So I know where they've been. So I really enjoy being able to help folks who are where I was and show them the path out of that woods that I was in, because I know the way out, and it leads to the foot of the cross as far as I'm concerned. So, but no, everybody that works here or volunteers here has a specific gift that they can help each individual person based on what their needs are. So it's just an amazing thing how we all come together as one body and serve other bodies. So,
if anyone has questions or would like additional information, how can you be reached?
We can either be reached here at our agency at 129 South Pierce Street, Lima. Our phone number, once again, is 419-879-4600, and we have a Facebook page, Family Promise Lima-Allen County.
Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for showing up here and helping us out.
You're welcome. I'm Leiahnni Smith reporting for Lima Digital Media Club.